see all smiling faces today. Everybody happy that we have come to the end of our lectures now. But I think you are more anxious at what is going to happen for your examination. Yes, our entire afternoon we are going to have examination. How you are going to appear for the room 6 examinations, we'll give you that. Let us first complete the last lecture of this session. We are first going to touch on a very important import scheme, that is the project import scheme. Hello. 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 Okay. One of the most important import clearance procedure is this project import scheme. Nowhere in the world you have this kind of a clearance procedure, clearance scheme. This is an Indian innovation. Somewhere around 1965-66, the government at that time wanted to create additional job opportunities, and therefore the government called upon all the industrialists, okay, number one, you increase your manufacturing capacities and you will get incentives from the government, or new industrial units should be set up with the latest technology to be imported. This was the basic idea to generate more employment at that time. And therefore the project import scheme was brought into effect. What was actually brought about was that the industrialists could import additional capital goods, raw material, consumables, technology, etc. And they would be getting a concessional rate of duty applied. All capital goods required, all consumables required, all raw material required, spare parts required for the new setting up of the industry and additional capacity building up of the industry. A concessional rate of duty was brought in. During that period of time, the normal duty structure for capital goods was around 100 to 150%. It was all slashed down under project import scheme. The range was brought down from 0 to 5 to 20 to 25. That's all maximum. For all items standard rate. Plus classification was also made standard classification. And therefore the entire scheme simplified the entire clearance procedure, but there were certain set procedures built. Under Chapter 98, a separate heading, Chapter 98.01, was declared only for project import goods and concessional rate of duties applicable to different projects. Even if the goods were being classified under different headings, But if they are coming as a part of this project, then they would be classified under 9801 and not under the specific heading. The project had different types of capital goods, different types of consumables, having different classifications. But no, classification would be only under chapter 9801. And standard rate of duty applicable only under 9801. There was a flat rate of duty applicable to all items of that particular project. That was the basic underlying factor. Now, the projects which were covered were irrigation project. They were all large projects where the duty itself was running into crores of rupees. Irrigation project, power project, mining project, oil, mineral exploration projects, fertilizer project, etc. And all projects which required latest technology upgradation also. The government also had powers to declare any other new project under the project input scheme. The goods that could be imported under this one single heading of 9801 were machinery, prime movers, instruments, apparatus, appliances, control gear, transmission equipment, auxiliary equipments, equipment required for research and development, equipment for testing and quality control, components, raw materials for the manufacture of all the above items, etc. In addition, raw materials, spare parts, semi-finished material, consumables up to 10% of the assessable value of goods which were known as additional spares can also be imported under the project. Under this scheme, the project import regulations were declared in 1986. And as per requirement, a contract cell was created in each customs house. That was a separate assessment group. The contract cell was created for the purpose of, in the first stage, registering a contract. Number one, the project is approved, it has been given an industrial license, then the whole list of all the materials required for that particular project. These are to be given to the contract cell in the customs department with the names of the suppliers. And then the contract would be registered in the customs contract cell. This was required to be registered before the first consignment actually landed, or even if it has landed before final clearance of the first consignment, this contract has got to be registered. Before an order for clearance of the first consignment, the contract has to be first registered. What are the requirements for registering the contract? First, application for registration of the contract, original deed of contract, industrial license. In those days, industrial license was issued by the Industries Ministry. Original import license, many items had separate import licenses also. Recommendatory letter for duty concession from the concerned sponsoring authority. Now, each project had a separate sponsoring authority. For example, power projects, the Power Ministry. So, the Power Ministry became the sponsoring authority for the power projects. So, a recommendatory letter had to be obtained from the Power Ministry for the power project to get this concessional rate of